ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಓಂ ಸಹನಾವತು ಸಹನೋ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂ ಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಶ್ರೀಮದ್ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಗೂಢಾರ್ಥ ದೀಪಿಕಾ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾ. So we are going to start from today this commentary called Gudhartha Deepika on Bhagavad Gita. Like we saw in Acharya's life, he lived whatever he preached. There is no double standards in his preaching and life. Some people preach, but they don't follow. Acharya Bhagavan Bhashyakara followed what he preached and preached what he followed, because he is of the inherent nature of the teaching itself. This we say with respect to his teaching that the Jagat is Maya, illusory. He not only established the Jagat to be illusory in his Bhashyas and established that only the Brahman, the self, is the reality, is the truth. He also established it through his life. Though we know the tithi of Bhagavan Bhashyakara, on which day he was born, etc., we have no clarity over the year in which he was born. Our ancestors didn't have the tradition of writing histories. They didn't believe in it because it can be changed. Today we are taught history which is not real history, which is his story. This, whoever the historian, he decides, or these people whoever have the authority, they decide and they change the story, and that story is what we read as a history. So, our ancestors didn't believe in this history or history. This can be very evident in the confusion over the birth period of Bhagavan Bhashyakara. He said the creation is illusory. If the creation is illusory, your birth, is it real then? No, mine is also illusory. How do you establish it? Create a confusion. Now there is a confusion whether he was born before Christ or after death. Some people opine that he was born before 500 years before Christ. Some people say no, he was born 800 years after Christ. There is a confusion. Now, this clearly establishes, he could have written something on a 2-line on the time, place, etc. of his birth. No, we know he was born in a place called Kalati. That's all. It's a general information. So, based on that, and we know where he was born now, because great Mahatmas, through their penance, the power of penance, they have found out this place to be, now they have built a temple there. That place to be the place of birth of Acharya. Now that apart. Similarly, the current author, Shri Madhusudana Saraswati Swami, whom I fondly refer to as Madhusudana Bhagavan, because there are so many great teachers, there are so many great people in our tradition, but there are only very few people who I am very attracted to teaching wise. And I have great respect for. One of them is this Madhusudana Bhagavan. So whenever we say Madhusudana Bhagavan, it is not referring to Krishna, who is also Madhusudana. It only refers to this Madhusudana Bhagavan. Like Madhusudana Bhagavan's disciple Brahmananda Saraswati, he clearly says in his commentary, Saraswatyaha Param Veti Saraswati, etc. He says that even the limits of Saraswati, the deity, goddess, is understood by this Saraswati, my Guruji. But the limit of my Saraswati or Guruji cannot be understood even by that Saraswati, the deity. So that is the kind of power. That is not Atishayokti. It is not exaggeration. It is what it is. He has such a tremendous knowledge. If you study his text, you will naturally be attracted towards him. So, what is the similarity? You said he lived his teaching. What is that? Like Acharya Bhagavan Bhashyakara, there is a confusion over the place, time, etc. of this Madhusudana Bhagavan also. There is a general perception that he was born in a family of Gauda Saraswata, which is basically a Bengali community, and even during his young age, he understood the futility of this world. His father was a very respected man by the then Bengal king. Once it happened so, he was ill-treated by that king. So, our Madhusudana Bhagavan, even at that tender age of 10, understood that the world, the same people who treat you well may ill-treat you at another time, or the same thing which you are well treated may be the cause for ill treatment in another place. So, this respect in the world is futile. He understood this. And he was attracted to the teaching of the great Mahatma during that period called Mahaprabhu. His name is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is referred to as Mahaprabhu. His name is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to see this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he left his house. He wanted to follow him always, his teaching. So he left his house and went to this place called Navadvip, where he was a great Acharya. Navadvip is a place in Bengal where Indian logic school was established. During that period, there was a very famous Indian logic school. Everyone used to visit that place. It's a tough place to enter, and once you enter, it's very tough to exit. It's much worse than military. But once you exit that place, you will be a very strong logician. So, our Acharya entered the Navadvipa, not finding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there, but still the thirst for knowledge was there. Therefore, he studied all that which has to be studied, which can be studied in Navadvip. And later, after completing, still the desire for meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. So he, after hearing some news about his whereabouts, he went there. He went to Kashi, Vrindavan, etc. He found this Guru in one among these places called Rama Tirtha. So he studied that Acharya was a very famous teacher during that period. Teacher of Vedanta. When we say Vedanta, we only refer to Advaita Vedanta as Vedanta or not the other Vedanta, Vishishta Advaita, Advaita, etc. We don't accept as them as Vedanta. So, after studying Vedanta completely from him, on the day of convocation or when he was about to leave that place, he went to his Acharya and after prostrating in front of him, he requested to teach him a method to get rid of the sin. Some repentance, karma. So he asked, what is this for? Why are you asking this repentance for? So, our Madhusudana Bhagavan says, I came here for studying Vedanta, not to understand Vedanta and gain knowledge, but to condemn Vedanta, because I want to follow this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I was attracted to his teaching. But after studying Vedanta, I clearly understood that this is the only right teaching. There can be no other teaching which can be better than this. So I have sinned. According to the tradition, among the biggest sins, thinking bad or even uttering a kind of a statement, word against the Acharya is accepted to be great sin. So now he has cheated Acharya, so he wanted to do repentance for that great sin. So our Acharya Ramatirtha says, okay, take sannyasa, that is the repentance. He says, okay, please give me sannyasa. Now in today's world, you can see people are interested in making disciples, left, right, center. Then this Acharya, though he was very qualified one to give sannyasa, he told him, no, I am not going to give you sannyasa. There is this Ramananda Saraswati, Rama Saraswati, his disciple Vishveshwara Saraswati. He is a very famous one in this Kashi. Go to him and take sannyasa from him. Okay. So after listening to his Guru's words, Madhusudana Bhagavan goes to this person called Vishveshwara Saraswati. Was a great man. When he approached him for sannyasa, Vishveshwara Saraswati said, okay, come, let me taunt your head. Okay, done, sannyasa. No, that is not what he did. He said, nowadays, today, no, you go to a guru, you ask for sannyasa, okay, 2 days later you will be given sannyasa. You take a letter regarding your qualifications, etc., you are given sannyasa. That is not how our Vishveshwara Guru gave sannyasa. He said, okay, I will give you sannyasa. I always give sannyasa provided they qualify, they are qualified people. I want to test your qualification. So, if you have understood Gita properly, explain it in a summary or in whichever way and show it to me. For that, he wrote a very beautiful commentary on, a small commentary, not this one, a small commentary, a summarized commentary on Gita. After seeing which, Vishveshwara Saraswati was very astonished. He said, okay, you are given sannyasa. So he gave him sannyasa on a very auspicious day. Whatever day he chose was an auspicious day. That is not, that's a different issue. Now, after taking sannyasa, after becoming Madhusudana Saraswati or Madhusudana Bhagavan, wrote so many commentaries. He is very famous for, though he is famous for this Gudartha commentary, he is famous for Advaita Siddhi, another text called Siddhanta Bindu, Advaita Ratrakshna, etc. There are so many commentaries he wrote, but among them, these are texts which became very famous. There is one commentary on Mahimna Stotra, Shiva Mahimna Stotra, he calls it as Mahimna Stotra and comments it as both Shiva Mahimna and Vishnu Mahimna. He is also the author of this text called Bhaktirasayana. It's a text dealing with devotion. Our Acharya, even here in Bhagavad Gita itself, in one of the chapters or 12th chapter end or something, he will say Vamshi Vibhushita Karan Avanita Choran. 30th chapter beginning, I think. He says Krishna Param Kimapi Tattvam Naham Jane. I don't know any tattva that is greater than Krishna. He declares. Now, with reference to this, people say, even after Advaita, even after writing Advaita Siddhi, etc., this Acharya is a devoted to Krishna. He writes text on devotion. So, how can this Advaita Siddhi, etc., be accepted as a valid text? Because this person himself has a problem of split personality. One personality accepting Advaita, the other personality accepting Dvaita, etc. If you say that is not the right way to see it, you have to understand when he wrote this Bhaktirasayana, the text on devotion. Is it before this Advaita Siddhi or after Advaita Siddhi? Before the Advaita Siddhi, there is no problem. He wrote something on Bhakti and then he wrote and understood Advaita Vedanta he realized Advaita Vedanta, the knowledge of Advaita, and therefore he wrote this text called Advaita Siddhi. Fine, no problem. After, then again, no problem. Even if you accept this Bhaktirasayana text on devotion to be written after Advaita Siddhi, still there is no complaint, no problem. Why? Because he wrote that book to establish he has complete knowledge over devotion. Complete knowledge over the subject of devotion. He is not a novice in devotion. To establish that, he wrote this Bhaktirasayana. This way you can accept. So, we have no idea about his birth, date or birthplace, etc., any detail, any history, as we saw. Now, he starts this text. Bhagavad Gita, Atha Prasamodhyaya. Now, first chapter of Gudartha Deepika. Now, many people start with this Bhagavad Bhashyartham Alochya, but there is this Mangalacharana, this invocation, which is not really a shloka. He writes it as a mantra. Om Namah Paramamsa Asvadita Charana Kamala Chinmakarandaya Bhakta Jana Manasa Nivasaya Shri Ramachandraya. What does he write? Om Namaha Paramahamsa Asvadita Charana Kamala Chinmakarandaya Bhakta Jana Manasa Nivasaya Shrimad Ramachandraya. We'll see each word. Makarandaya. Makarandaya. Makaranda means pollen grains. Makarandaya. Pollen grains of water. Kamala Chit Makarandaya. What kind of pollen grains? He says pollen grains of knowledge. Chit Makarandaya. Pollen grains of knowledge. Pollen grains belonging to which flower? Kamala Chin Makarandaya. Kamala means lotus. Pollen grains of lotus. Knowledge pollen grains of lotus. What is this lotus? Which lotus? Where lotus? For that he says Charana Kamala. The feet are the lotus. We say lotus feet. The knowledge pollen grains of the feet, lotus feet. Knowledge pollen grains of the lotus feet. Because see, the dust, he could have used Rajata or Dhuli, etc. instead of pollen grains. Since he is referring to the lotus feet, the feet is given an adjective of lotus. Since he is referring to a lotus, he says Makaranda, pollen grains. There is no dust on the lotus, there is only pollen grains on the lotus. So, the pollen grains are very important for fructification of this, for gaining this fruit, etc. in trees. So, this knowledge pollen grain, which is very important for fructification, and which pollen grain it is? It is the pollen grain of lotus feet. And what kind of, whose lotus feet? What kind of person's lotus feet? There he says, Paramamsa Aswadita. It is the lotus feet which is worshipped by. Aswadita means worshipped, which is worshipped by Paramamsa. Paramsa means a kind of sannyasis. There are different kinds of sannyasis: Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Hamsa, Paramamsa, etc. Among them, Paramamsa sannyasis are the highest in the order of sannyasis. Among these sannyasis, Paramamsa sannyasis are the highest order of sannyasins. Now, in the Paramamsa sannyasins also, there are two types of sannyasis. One is a Vividisha sannyasa, the other is Vidvat sannyasa. Vividisha sannyasa means the sannyasa, taking sannyasa, desiring knowledge. Vidvat sannyasa means taking sannyasa after gaining the knowledge. Vividisha sannyasa, Vidvat sannyasa. Now, what is sannyasa really? First, we have to understand that sannyasa means Jnanam sannyasa lakshanam. That is what is established. Jnanam sannyasa lakshanam. What is sannyasa? Knowledge is sannyasa. Knowledge is the definition of sannyasa. Why? We just said Sannyasa Shravanam Kuryat. If you want to do Shravana, take sannyasa. If you take sannyasa, do Shravana. Sannyasya Shravanam Kuryat. After taking sannyasa, the only job for this sannyasi is to study the Shastra. If he does anything else other than this, he is not to be accepted as a sannyasi. If a sannyasi is doing anything other than something related to Shastra, he is not qualified to be called as a sannyasi. Because the term sannyasi, there is a synonym to the term sannyasi, sadhu. When we say sadhu, there in the Lausudhanta commentary, in the Tippani, in this footnote, it is said sadhu. What does sadhu mean? Sadhnoti param karyam iti sadhu. What is sadhu? Sadhnoti param karyam. One who gains the absolute. One who puts forth the efforts to gain the absolute is sadhu. One who is practicing for knowledge is sadhu. For gaining the absolute is sadhu. Not a sadhnoti parakaryam. One who puts efforts to do things for others. He is not sadhu. He cannot be referred to as sadhu. He is a good man too, but he cannot be qualified as a sadhu, sannyasi. People, after taking sannyasa, they start schools, they start orphanage. It's everything not related to knowledge. So that is not the job of a sannyasi. He says, okay, he is a sadhu. What kind of sadhu? A sadhu, a sannyasi, one who is worshipped even by the highest order of sannyasins, Paramasa sannyasins. Oh, then he is a sannyasi man. No, Bhakta Jana Manasa Nivasaya. A person who resides in the minds of the devotees. A person, one who resides in the minds of the devotees, one who is established in the minds of the devotees. Shrimad Ramachandraya. Who? Shrimad Ramachandraya. Shrimat. Mat is a extension, it's a suffix which is used to say that kind of one who has that. So Shrimat means one who is endowed with Shri. Shrimat means one who is endowed with Shri. What kind of who is endowed with Shri? Ramachandraya. Here this Ramachandra is not referring to the Sri Rama of Ayodhya, because this author Madhusudana Bhagavan is a great devotee of Krishna. Now if that Krishna is going to live and he is including Ramachandra, then there is a contradiction is in devotion. So here this Ramachandra is not that Ayodhya Ramachandra, Dasharatha Rama, but here we are talking about the Ramatirtha, the Guru, his Vidya Guru, the teacher, the Guru who gave him the knowledge. Then he should have said Ramatirthaya. No, it is not accepted to be right. It is not accepted to be right if you refer to your Guru directly with the name. Now, there is this habit of calling names, not bad names. I'm saying their original names, referring to people with their original names, even big people, without any respect. That is not our tradition. In our tradition, we respect elders. In our tradition, we respect even if they are not elders, even if they are youngers, our teachers, our preceptors. So here he is saluting his preceptor, his teacher, his Guru, who Sri Rama Tirtha. Now, Bhagavad Padavashyartham Alochya Prayatnatah Praya Pratipadam Kurve Gita Gaudartha Deepikam. Bhagavad Padavashya Artham Alochya Ati Prayatnatah Praya Pratipadam Kurve Gita Gaudartha Deepikam. Bhagavad Padavashyartham. Artham meaning, Bhashyartham meaning of the Bhashya commentary. Bhagavad Pada written by Bhagavan Bhashyakara. After understanding the meaning of the commentary written by Sri Bhagavan Bhashyakara, how? Not just I studied it, I understood. Not like Alochya, inquiry into it. After inquiring into it, it's not a simple inquiry. Ati prayatnatah alochya, putting forth a lot of effort, I have inquired into the meaning of the commentary written by Bhagavan Bhashyakara. Starts with Bhagavad Pada. Great respect. He shows great respect for Acharya Bhagavan Bhashyakara. So, after putting forth a great amount of effort in inquiring into the meaning of the commentary, Praya Pratipadam Kurve. Generally, Praya means almost in every place. Generally, Pratipadam Kurve. I am going to comment upon each word. What are you going to do? Kurve Kim? Gita Gaudartha Deepika. Gita Gaudartha Deepika. For Gita, this Gaudartha Deepika I am going to do. What is this? Gita Gaudartha Deepika. The commentary name should be called as Gita Gaudartha Deepika. If you say Gaudartha Deepika, then what is that you have to understand. First Gita. Gita is this text. Gaudartha means secret meaning. Gauda Artha means secret, hidden, and Artha means meaning, secret meaning. Deepika means that which illumines. That which illumines the secret meaning of Gita. Now, he is referring to Bhagavan Bhashyakara and shows great respect. Now, here, what could be this Gudartha? If Bhagavan Bhashyakara, if he is going to use that base and if he is going to say, okay, I am going to comment on this, then there is a problem here. Meaning, he has hidden things. He has hidden some meaning from other people. You have to decode. So, Gudartha means we have to understand it as the Bhashya itself. There is no secret other than that on the Gita. So, that which illumines the secret, Gudartha, is Bhashya, and I am going to show a light on that Bhashya. Or, you can say, I am going to use this Bhagavan Bhashyakara's commentary as my base, and I am going to write a commentary on Gita, which is called as Gudartha Deepika. And what kind of commentary am I going to do? Pratipadam praya kurve. Generally, I am going to write commentary on each words. Each word means, see, even these words like cha, tu, va, etc. are commented here. Cha means and. Va means or. Tu means definitely, sometimes also. Or also. Sometimes it may be or, sometimes it may be also, sometimes it may be definitely. Now, here, he is going to give a different connotation, different meaning to each of these words. Cha, why is it said cha? It is not to just say and, it means something else. What is that meaning? Why? Because this cha, va, tu, etc. have one vowel. It's a word with one vowel. A word with one vowel is called as nipata. Nipata eko janang. In Panini grammar, Panini writes a sutra which says nipataha. It is called as nipata. What? Eka, that which has one vowel, anang, except this word called ang. Except the word called ang, all the other words with one vowel is called as nipata. And in many places, these words which are nipatas are just discarded, referred to as anarthakovayam nipata. This is a useless word. Doesn't really matter. It's okay. Leave it. But these words are from Bhagavan himself. It is not Vyasa who wrote this Mahabharata, this Bhagavad Gita. Vyasa might have written Mahabharata, but he didn't write this Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, where the words of Bhagavad Gita were pronounced by Bhagavan, and they are collected by Vyasa. Vyasa is just a person who collects and writes it. He notes down. He just notes it down. That's all. He is not the author of the text. He just notes it down. Whatever Bhagavan said, he just notes it down. So, Bhagavan himself has said this. And the words of Bhagavan are precious. Why should he waste words? So, cha, tu, all these, we may use all these words. No, is a word for us. Is a word for us. Like is a word for us. Some people will use like that. So all those words are useless. You can just censor those words and take the meaning. Nothing is going to change if you remove like, or if you remove or if you remove But it's not the case with Bhagavan's words. there is going to be a different connotation, different meaning when you include that word in a different sense. So, all that sense, all that meaning in which he has explained that we will be seeing here. Okay. Now, here he says, Tadam Gita Shastram Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam Durvigneyartham Tadartham Avishkaranaya Anekaihi Vivrta Padartha Vakyartha Nyayamapi Atyanta Viruddha Anekarthatvena Laukikaihi Grihyamanam Upalabhya Aham Vivekataha Artham Nirtaranartham Artham Nirtaranartham. This is said in Bhashya. Don't look into your text. Tadidam Gita Shastram Tadidam Gita Shastram Tadidam Gita Shastram. Remember this word, Gita Shastra. Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam is the essence of the whole teaching in the Vedas. It's an essence of it. Durvigneyartham, it is not something which can be easily understood. Tad Artha Avishkaranaya, to illumine its meaning, Anekaihi Vivrta Padartha Vakyartha Nyayamapi. Though many people with great knowledge of language, with great knowledge, command over the Vakyartha. Vakyartha means Mimamsa, Purvimamsa. And great knowledge of logic. Still, Atyanta Viruddha Anekarthatvena Laukihi Grihyamanam. It is understood, though they may have written it properly, it is understood in a different meaning, in a wrong meaning, contradictory meaning from the author, or it is understood by the authors themselves in wrong way. Therefore, Upalabhya, after seeing that, Aham Vivekataha Nirartham Nirdanartham, I, to give you the right meaning, to establish the right meaning of the teaching of Ishvara, Bhagavan, I am going to say this. This is how Bhagavan Bhashyakara starts. Therefore, this is the teaching of Bhagavan. Sahetukasya samsarasya atyanta uparamatmakam param nirshesham Gita Shastrasya uktam prayojanam. Sahetukasya samsarasya atyanta uparamatmakam param nirshesham Gita Shastrasya uktam prayojanam. Sahetukasya samsarasya atyanta uparama atmakam param nirshesham Gita Shastrasya uktam prayojanam. What does he say? Sahetukasya samsarasya. Samsara along with its cause. Samsara along with its cause. Uparamatmakam. Uparamatmakam means gets negated. The cause and the effect both are negated. It is not necessary that the effect should be negated too along with the cause, or the cause should be negated along with the effect. Because even after negating the effect, the cause may exist. Even after negating the cause, the effect may exist. How? After negating the cause, the effect should not exist. That is how we have seen. No, it need not be so. Why? Because what is this cause you are talking about? There are two types of cause. One is Nimitta Karanam, the other is Upadana Karanam. Nimitta Karanam means instrumental cause. Upadana Karanam means material cause. If you destroy the cause, the material cause, the effect will be destroyed. But if you destroy the instrumental cause, the effect need not get destroyed. If you destroy the clay, the pot is as well destroyed. But if you destroy the potter, the pot is not destroyed. Similarly, if you destroy the pot, it merges in the clay. It does not merge in the potter. So, cause and effect both are negated at one stroke. But still, there are some situations like this. Like you have headache, you eat a tablet. What happens? Your headache is relieved. Fine, very good. But again, after some time or after some days, you are going to have a headache. It is not negated completely once for all. Okay, you take this medicine once for all, there will be no headache. Why? Because there will be no head. No, still you will have another problem. Okay, even if you have a medicine for headache, even if the headache is completely removed, this headache medicine may cause some other problem, because now they say too much of medicine destroy your kidney. Now you wanted to get rid of one problem, but that medicine brings in another problem. Therefore, he says, here we are not referring to any of these stupid things as seen in the world. You negate one problem, another problem. You negate one problem, it is not going to go completely, absolutely. So, the method seen in the world is not of use. But if you say Vedas, if you do the karmas as prescribed in the Vedas, you are going to gain heaven, which will help you to get rid of all the problems. Fine. But there is a problem. Why? The heaven which you are going to gain is not eternal. Kshaya atishayuktatvat visa. It is said Kshaya atishayuktatvat. Kshaya, destruction. Atishaya, gradation. It is endowed with these two defects. What is destruction? Kshine punyamartya loke vishanti. You can stay in heaven only as long as you have the punya to stay in heaven. Like the visa. Once your visa completes, you will be thrown out of the country. Similarly, from the heaven also. Once the punya, which is the visa, is extinguished, you will be thrown out. So, that comes to an end. Your heaven comes to an end. Experience of heaven, enjoyment in heaven comes to an end. This is not all. There is another problem. Atishaya, gradation. You will have a lesser importance or lesser good time than the other person. Other person who is your neighbor or your friend Swami or your enemy Swami, etc. Or even the Indra whom you don't even know. He is enjoying greater life than your life. There is a atishaya, there is a gradation experience. Therefore, these defects change the expected results which cannot be heaven. How can you expect something? How can you desire something which has these kind of defects? So, this should be something which is not going to recur again. That kind of result. That is why he says, Atyanta Uparama. Absolutely it will be negated. There will be no scope for coming back to samsara. Once for all. What happens? Sahetukasya samsarya. The cause and effect both are negated completely, absolutely. Gita Shastrasya Uktam Prayojanam. This is what is the result explained in the Gita Shastra. We are referring to Gita Shastra because Bhagavan Bhashyakara started with what? Tadidam Gita Shastrasya. So that word is picked up from there and it is used directly. One. And first we have to understand what Shastra is. Why Gita is referred to as Shastra. What is Shastra? Shasanat Shastram. Shasanat, because it is guiding you. It is giving an injunction. The injunction can be of do's and don'ts. And good and bad. Shastra does that. It makes you, helps you to avoid bad karma and guides you to perform good karmas. Therefore, it is called a Shastra. What is that? In this place, in Bhagavad Gita, later he says, Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. He says, Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha. It is better to die performing your own dharma, even a little bit, even if it is not complete, as much as possible. Means you are not giving a choice of, okay, if you can't, leave it. No. You have to perform as much as possible by you. this much is possible. No, we are not giving a choice of you choosing it. We are giving a choice of you performing it. You have to perform it as much as possible in that period of time. Don't try to give up using this as a loophole. You have to follow it. Okay, I have to drink coffee. Give up coffee. Do this first. At 8 o'clock I have to give up drink coffee. Therefore, from 7:45 to 8 I have this time, 15 minutes. Give up coffee. Make it 10 more minutes extra. Or wake up earlier. You should not give up the karma because of these stupid reasons. The amount possible by you should be done in a proper way. Okay, this is one. Then other is a negation of bad karmas. Nidhanam Shreyah Paradharmo Bhayavaha. Following this as much as possible, your dharma is better than following completely the other dharma, which is Bhaya Avaha, which brings in only fear. Because it is not going to be of any use in this Swarga, because our tradition is perfect. There is nothing, the Shastra is perfect, there is nothing which can be found as error in this. But there, in the other system, everything is it's just an hedge. So you find a hole, you plug it. You find another hole somewhere, you plug it. It's all plugged in. There is only plugs. There is no real structure. Between two plugs, there is another third plug. So our system is error free. Follow that. Then second, at the end of the Gita itself, he says Devi Sampat, Asuri Sampat. It discusses about Devi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. The attainment of the divine qualities and the attainment of demonic qualities. What is demonic qualities and what is divine qualities? Both are explained in the end. So these make it a Shastra. This is one example from here itself. And Bhagavad Gita, at the end of every chapter we see Iti Shrimad Bhagavad Gita's Upanishadsu. We chant this. Iti Shrimad Bhagavad Gita's Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre, etc. So here Bhagavad Gita. So what is the Bhagavad Gita? So in this Bhagavad Gita, what is that? Upanishad. So in this Upanishad of Bhagavad Gita is given the status of Upanishad, and importantly Bhagavad Gita is from Ishvara himself, like Tasya Nishpasitam Yeda Rigveda, etc. The Veda very clearly says it came from the Rigveda, etc. came from the Ishvara, the firstborn. Similarly, this Bhagavad Gita also came from that Ishvara. Here Shri Krishna. So it is qualified to be called as a Shastra. Param Nishreyasam. What does it give? Param Nishreyasam. Param Nishreyasam means absolute. Param means absolute. Nishreyasam means, you have to understand this term. Nishreyasam means people refer to as Nishitam Shreyaha Yasma. That which gives you definite greatness. That which gives you absolute, definitive, absolute greatness. But that is not the right way to understand, because the Vishishtadvaitins, they accept Vishnu to be endowed with Vishishtadvaiti. If it is Vishnu, Vishishtadvaiti, they will accept the Vishnu to be endowed with all the good divine qualities. If you accept Shaiva Vishishtadvaita, then they will accept Shiva to be endowed with all the divine qualities. Now, we are not talking about endowed Ishvara, attributed Brahman, attributed self. Because Ishvara is attributed self as us. We are also attributed self. So, attribute differs. Some have the divine qualities only. Some have the demonic qualities only. Some may have the divine and demonic qualities in mixture. That mixture can be equivalent or there can be gradation in it. That's a different issue. But there is this quality. That is what is important. There is this attribute. That is what is important. Whatever is attributed is not a complete. It's not absolute. Because there is duality. So, we say Brahman is nirgunam nishkriyam. Brahman is without any attributes, without any characteristics, without any quality, without any action, etc. So, Param Nishresam should be understood. Nishresam, this word should be understood as a where Nirgato Shreya Smat, from which the Shreya, the attributes, greater or lesser, whatever it may be, doesn't really matter. Greater, whatever this greater quality, these attributes are completely discarded, negated. That absolute state where there is no attributes, Nirgato Shreya, where there is no absolutely any attributes, that absolute state is the result of a Gita Shastra. Now, we'll see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevashyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.